hits and you're going, yeah. You record that exact same sound onto a track, onto record, you hit play, and you're like, what happened to it? Hey. Hey everybody, how's it going today? Now that we know how to function and operate and navigate a DAW, and we've learned how to plug things into our interface and get a signal to our computer, now we can start the recording process. I figured, why not write a song together? We could just start with the root of a rhythm guitar and build it off of there, and I can teach you how to record each individual instrument and build a song together that way. Let's dive into this. I'm really excited to do this. Choosing a guitar to record with is pretty much as simple as what sound you're going for. Are you looking for something crunchy with humbuckers on electric? Are you recording an acoustic track? Or are you recording something more heavy? Now, for this song that we're going to record, I decided let's go ahead and record something heavy. Most of you guys are recording heavy stuff anyways, so I decided to use this custom-built Les Paul that I made with some Seymour Duncan pickups in it. That works great. But for now, let's get into how to mic and record a acoustic. So I use a mic stand and an arrow for archery as an indicator for where my sound hole is, for basically putting my mic where I want it to be. So I use this arrow, point it there, and since our bridge here picks up all of our high ends and treble, our sound hole picks up a lot of our low ends and bass, and our 12th fret actually picks up the majority of our mids, we can use this principle to place our mic accordingly. Now what you're going to want to do is get in your stool right in front of your indicator and get nice and comfortable into this position you're going to play in. And then you're just going to take your indicator and point it directly at the sound hole, making it touch the low string on your guitar. Now take a measuring tape, that's pretty important, and you're going to measure from the center of your sound hole to the 12th fret. Mine was 6 inches, so you go half of that. So you're going to move it over, down the next side, 3 inches. And you're going to move your microphone 13 inches away from your indicator. Now make sure you turn off any sound sources like fish pumps. That's really annoying. So let's listen. My favorite way to record guitar, especially electric, is through an amp and a microphone going to your system. But unfortunately, I don't have a Shure SM57, which is the recommended brand, which kind of sucks because I'd love to be able to use my pedals in my guitar recordings. But I guess for now, we're just going to have to plug directly in. The best thing to use is a stereo input with double jacks to plug right into your line in. That will give you a nice stereo sound, but most people just use a regular guitar cable, so that's what we're going to use today, and I'll show you how to compensate. Also, make sure you have a good set of monitors. That's like key in this. So here we are. I actually decided to use my J-Terser just because I was going to go and record something kind of really heavy, but then I kind of thought not everybody's really into the super heavy stuff, so I'm going to record something heavy-ish. It's going to be kind of like a hard rock song. I've got all my settings picked out. Now, one thing about when you're recording guitar is you're going to have your program with all your plugins and stuff for your different, for all of your different stuff. Now, you've got the choice of going into a list and making your own patches, so your own sounds. And so I did this for all my guitars. I've got a patch basically for everything that I need for my vocals, my guitars, my drums, everything that I need. That way I don't have to really play too much with the sounds when I want to just record, and I don't have to play around with the mix too much because I already know how it's gonna sound. So a good way to start is to basically go in and customize a bunch of tones for yourself that sound decent and go from there. Because otherwise you're going to be screwing with tones every single time that you want to record a new track. And it really sucks, especially when you know in your head what you want it to sound like. And it can be kind of a headache trying to acquire just that right sound that you want. So that's all done for me. I've already done all that, and I've got my Tercer, my J Tercer Les Paul here, and I have a signature noise for it, and this is what it sounds like. Yeah, it's nice and crunchy, really crunchy. But anyways, so what we're gonna do is we're basically just gonna lay down a track. So I've got guitar tracks opened already, and what we need to do is arm it to record. Boom. And see, I've actually got my mic on my interface enabled with my guitar, so that's why you're seeing two tracks here, because I have to enable my microphone and my guitar to be able to talk to you and play at the same time. So the second track, I'm actually not sure which one's going to record it to which. It'll be interesting to see because I've never actually recorded this way. But we're just going to play around and see what we can come up with for a rhythm guitar here. The rhythm guitar here is just going to be the root, and we're going to build off of it over time, and over time you'll be able to see how I record and how you can record different instruments. So this is just going to be the rhythm guitar. I usually choose my BPM to be in the mid-fast range. I mean, for a hard rock song, I found that 165 would be a good pace, so I kind of just chose 165. And let the improvising begin, because this is how you're going to write most of your songs. You're going to improvise, and then you're going to build off of those improvisations, and that's what we're going to do now. So we've got a click track enabled. Let's go in D. Alright, well, the top track records my vocals. Hello. Alright, so we'll go in D. That actually sounded pretty good so far. So we'll go ahead and see what that sounds like. We'll delete this side just because we don't need it, and we'll drag this. Well, this is what the guitar is being recorded on, so we'll keep that there for now. So let's take a listen to this. Oh, don't really need the click track on the play. Yeah, actually, I like that quite a bit. So, a good way to kind of make sure that you're writing to the best of your abilities. That's really the blunt of what you're going to be doing is improvising, and then building off those improvisations and making it so that they're not improvisations anymore, but a written piece. So, like for instance, that was just kind of So we know that it's in D, and it's going to be a crunchy hard rock song. And the majority of these crunchy hard rock songs, for a good hard rock feel, is a lot of people like to palm mute and make their verses kind of punchy, like so something like that. So now here what I'll do is I'll kind of just listen to it. I'll listen to it with recording as well, so that if I feel like I come up with something, I'll just kind of add on to it, and we'll see what happens. Don't forget to use your click track, because just seriously, you want to use a metronome every time. I think I have an idea. I think I know what I'm going to do. Let's see how this sounds. I think that's a decent. I think that's decent. Let's see how that sounds. So we'll drag this so that it comes up to the audio, because otherwise it's just a bunch of data that you don't need. Bow, bow. Bow, bow. Bow, bow. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. So I have an idea of what that's going to turn into. Now all we really have to do, we have an intro, like an instrumental to work over. We have our verse, our crunchy, palm muted verse. Now all we really need is a chorus. And using the root note, there's a lot of different combinations that we could use for a chorus. And I think I have an idea of what we could use. We could go like... Yeah, that sounds decent. It sounds kind of like radio rock a little bit, but you know, we'll make it work. Now, one thing that I have noticed here is that while I'm recording my microphone and my guitar at the same time, they're putting them in two separate mono patches. Now, that's not something we necessarily want when we're recording guitar. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to disable my mic, and we already have an idea of what we're going to be putting down, and I have a chorus ready to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to disable my mic so that it can record two tracks together, as you'll see, and it'll get a much more fuller sound, and we'll be able to just have one solid track. So I'll go ahead and do that now. You won't be able to hear my mic at all because it's going to be disabled. No! That's going to happen to you guys a lot. Like, a lot. So, you're going to take takes. You're going to miss a couple things. You're going to have to retake them sometimes. And that's just kind of how the studio goes. I'll cut out everything and I'll come back to when I get a decent take. So, we'll see you soon. All right. We're back. It took a couple takes. It took about 3 or 4 takes, but finally got something that works. You know what? We don't need the metronome right now. So, as you can see, we've got a decent track going on, and the sound it's It's a little flat, to be honest. Now, as you can see, the tone is a little bit flat. Now, this is for a variety of reasons. One of the reasons being that we're just using a straight up guitar cable. As I mentioned earlier, you want to use, for the best quality, a line cable, which is like the same as your typical guitar cable. The only difference is this, you see it here, you've got one ring, this one rubber ring kind of, that sits on the guitar string. Now that means that it records in mono. Now what you want is, you want one of these, but with an end. Sorry about that. But with the end, so you've got your regular one. The only thing you'll see different is you've got two rings rather than just one. I don't know if you can see that. But you'll have two rings on there, and on the other end, you'll have two ends, both mono, right? So this will make it so you record in stereo. This will bring up your audio quality on your guitar like tenfold. I can't even describe to you how much better you get a sound out of it. But for the meantime, while you don't have one of these, there is a small trick that you can do to kind of simulate this using this cable or get recording in stereo. So what you're going to do is, as you can see on the screen, we've got our one single guitar track. Now, typically, I don't know why that's like that right now. Well, typically you'll see that your tracks are in this kind of view. Everything's kind of small usually. Just like this. So what you're going to do, make two larger. Now, that's my kid. So you take one of your tracks and you copy it. Okay? Go to the very start. Paste. Now you've got two tracks. What does that do? Nothing right now. All it does is double up the tracks. What you're going to do is, on your track 1, you're going to pan it all the way to the right. And just for organization's sake, always go to your track name and give it a name. And we'll call this Rhythm Guitar Pan R, as in panned right. So now all of the audio from the first track is going to be panned over to the right side. For instance, like in my headphones here, it's going to be panned over. And you do the exact same thing, except you pan it to the left on this side. And we'll call this Rhythm Guitar Pan Left. That didn't work. Pab left, and we want pan. Huh. My keyboard's tucked under just because of my mic and all that. It's kind of difficult. So I know how to type. I do. But anyways, now you've got your two here, that one is panned to the left, one is panned to the right. Now I'm gonna mute this, and I'm gonna put this back to center so you can get a good reference. Hey guys, yeah, so I completely didn't realize, as I'm brand new to using the OBS recording system, that it's not capturing the playback. I don't know if it was because it was in my headphones or what kind of setting I need to change to make that possible, but I don't know. So I was about to show you a reference on that clip and you can't hear anything. So I'm going to go ahead and just play it through the speakers here on, and hopefully you get a decent signal through the mic. It won't be the great quality that it actually is in great quality, but you won't be able to hear it fully, which kind of sucks, but you know, it is what it is. You've seen the method, you've seen how you want to make two tracks, copy two tracks, pan one to the right, one to the left, and you'll be golden. Seriously, try this method and you'll thank me. All right, so here we go. I'm just gonna go right to the beginning here. I'm gonna push play and I'm gonna let it play through for a little bit, and then you'll get to hear basically what you weren't able to hear before. All right, here we go. Meow, meow. Wow, wow. But yeah, as you can see, I mean, well, I don't know if you can see or hear or how it's going to go. I'll find out when I edit this part, but it sounds so much better than just one track isolated. Seriously, do this stereo transition method. Paste a second copy of the track next to it. Pan one to the right and one to the left. You'll get a great sound of your recordings. No matter what tones you're using, that is going to enhance your tones to make it sound the way that it actually is supposed to sound. When you're playing it through your amp and it sounds nice and punchy and sounds really nice and you're going, yeah, you record that exact same sound onto a track, onto record, you hit play and you're like, what happened to it? It's because it's being recorded in mono. You want to start doing it in stereo. Get yourself one of those cables or do this method. Either way works just fine. Thanks, guys. I hope you found this episode informative. It's a little extra long today. It actually took me 2 days to make this because I had some files crash on my computer and I was almost about to make an episode about how to restore your files on a computer. But everything's okay again. So I'll see you guys soon. I'm trying to upload daily. If I don't upload daily, well, then I guess screw you. I mean, I do want to record and upload content for you guys daily. So please, if you're on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. If you're on Facebook, like the page, follow the page, and you'll stay updated with some of the coolest artists. I'm going to be working with some local artists. I've got one guy that I've been talking about working with. What time is it, actually? We're supposed to be recording at 5 o'clock today, but we've got a bunch of kids over here today, as you can see, so it's not going to be the greatest option. Have a great day, guys, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.